Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 6 things that we learn from England 2 Slovakia 1. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 100 likes on today's video, that would be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We're now on the road to 9,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your thoughts on the 6 talking points that I do go on to discuss in today's video, and also your general thoughts on England's very lucky last minute drama win against Slovakia in the round of 16. We've managed to progress through into the quarterfinals. I think we play Switzerland on Saturday at 5 o'clock, so that's going to be a little bit hard to balance between the Bradford game at 3 and the England game at 5 o'clock, but on the whole it was a poor game. Bellingham managed to rescue us in the last minute. We then scored very early on in extra time and we just about managed to scrape through into the next round. But make sure to drop a like on there for me, subscribe if you're new as well, and let's get into it. Starting out firstly then with box number 1, I've gone with a red box for Phil Foden. I've said it at the start of the tournament and I'm saying it again now. Phil Foden's performances in an England shirt have not been good enough. He at the moment does not deserve to be starting for England, and yesterday again I thought he was absolutely terrible. He just offers nothing playing on that left hand side. Even when we're changing formation and he's interchanging with Palmer and playing in different positions, he's not offering anything, especially as a left winger. Slovakia's right back yesterday was 37 years of age, so why did Gareth Southgate not pick someone like an Anthony Gordon to run at him and try and take him on? Instead he picked Phil Foden, and I was watching the game and every time I got the ball I was waiting to see Phil Foden play a forward pass, and it never came. Every time he gets the ball he'll take it on the half turn and then he'll come backwards and play a simple pass back to Kieran Trippier or Declan Rice. He never plays forward, and granted he did technically score a goal, but it was obviously ruled out for offside. It was quite strange play from Trippier. I can kind of understand why he crossed it, but in that position where Foden's momentum is taking him offside, I don't know why he just didn't shoot himself. In all honesty, I don't think there was much need for Foden to be taking them extra strides because he was kind of free in that penalty area, and that was really frustrating. But he's just not offering anything in an England shirt which would warrant him to be starting at this moment in time. He always wants to play backwards. He's negative with the play, and I'm pretty sure as soon as he came off we scored within inside 30 seconds of that. Foden for me not good enough again yesterday, and that's why I've given him a red box. Moving on then to the second box of today's video, I've gone with a yellow box for Ebere Eze. Now again, I look at Eze's performance on off the bench yesterday and I don't think it was bad. I feel like he could have produced a bit more, but in times when he had the ball he did look quite positive, and especially when he was playing in a number of different positions. Was playing as a left winger, a central midfielder, a left wing back at times as well. He was kind of in loads of different positions considering and depending on what the score was, but I was on the whole quite impressed with Eze's impact on off the bench, all things considered. I feel like if you'd have played him in his best position from the off, we might have seen a potential green box here for Eberiche Eze, but I thought he had on the whole a really solid game. His creativity was nice to see, and I feel like his cameo on off the bench, I think it was against Denmark, it wasn't the most impressive in the world. In all honesty, I thought he gave the ball away a few times and was quite sloppy in possession. In this one though against Slovakia, I do think he had much more of a positive impact on the game. Again, when Eze comes on there will be people questioning why is it not Anthony Gordon, but I'm a big fan of Eberiche Eze, and I thought yesterday he showed glimpses of what he could potentially offer in this England side. And with again Saka, Foden, even Bellingham, who we will come and touch on later on in today's video, not performing to the heights that we want to see from them, it might be an opportunity to give someone like an Eze a go in that number 10 position. I know the debate at the moment is between Bellingham and Foden, but Eze I think has got that ability to play in there when Bellingham and Foden aren't performing like what we know that they can do to the best of their abilities. On the whole though, Eze for me had a positive impact on off the bench. If he'd have started it might have been a green box, so that's why I'm going with a yellow one for Eberiche Eze. Moving on then to the third box of today's video, I've gone with a red one for Kyle Walker. He was absolutely awful, especially in that first half. He got caught out of position 2 or 3 times and it was absolutely terrible. Walker was playing like he'd had 3 hours sleep. He was absolutely dreadful yesterday. Going forward as well, offered absolutely absolutely nothing to this England side. When we went to the back three, I think he looked a little bit more solid, in all honesty, but on the ball, poor, a number of sloppy passes, a few sloppy crosses as well, and I was really disappointed with his performance. He wasn't really bombing on as much as what we've seen from him earlier on in the tournament and down that right-hand side. He was obviously very influential for our goal against Denmark. In this one against Slovakia, I was surprised that he managed to play the full game, in all honesty, because I thought he was really, really poor. The amount of times where he was just caught out of position in that first half, it nearly did cost us on a number of occasions, and I think Walker, yes, it might have been a bad game, and thankfully it didn't cost us in this one against Slovakia, but if he's marking Kylian Mbappe against France, for example, and he plays like that, we're going to get absolutely torn apart. So he needs to be much better defensively and switch on a little bit more, because I do think at times he did look to lose concentration, which is disappointing for such an experienced player, but I feel like his calming presence on that right hand side was still important for us. On the whole though, I do think he had a really, really poor game yesterday, and that's why I've gone with a red box for Kyle Walker. Moving on then to my fourth box of today's video, I've gone with a yellow box for Jude Bellingham. Again, for Bellingham, for 94 minutes he was poor in the game, and on a number of occasions just seemed to fall over far too easily, and the referee wasn't really buying his dives, considering how busy that referee was yesterday. The amount of stupid yellow cards he was given for challenges which weren't even fouls was absolutely ridiculous. Bellingham was victim of that, unfortunately, but he was really, really poor, ineffective once again. But then it gets to the 95th, 96th minute, there's about 30 seconds left on the clock, and he produces an overhead kick to send the game to extra time. He finds the back of the net with an absolutely unbelievable strike, and he runs off, celebrates with Harry Kane, and says to the crowd, who else? It would be nice, Bellingham, though, if you would show up for 90 minutes rather than just in that moment. But I guess in tournament football, if a player wants to not really do much for the majority of the game and come up with a goal every now and again, you're not going to complain too much. It's not like it's a league game for your club. It is very different, but Bellingham, I thought, really lacked any quality or control of possession yesterday as well, which disappointed me against Slovakia. I would like to see him be a bit more effective, in all honesty, and it does concern me going into these knockout games that he's not really performing very well. He was very good for the first half an hour in the opening game against Serbia, but since then we've not seen a positive performance from Jude Bellingham. Yes, he's come up with a brilliant moment, and obviously it saved our European Championship tournament, but I still think there is a lot more to come from Jude Bellingham, in all honesty, and that's why I've gone with the yellow box for him. Moving on then to my penultimate box of today's video, I've gone with the green box for Ivan Toney. I've been calling for him to get more and more minutes off the bench as each game has gone by. He was finally given an opportunity with 45 seconds left on the clock yesterday. Gareth Southgate decided to finally sub him on for Phil Foden, and I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere that Ivan Toney had the ump with Gareth Southgate at that point, and who can blame him if Toney's only opportunity to play a European Championship potentially was for 45 seconds. You'd be absolutely fuming with the manager, and rightfully so, but he came on off the bench and massively impacted it. He plays a big part in our first goal. He pins the defender to allow Jude Bellingham to have that space to complete the bicycle kick. He then wins the free kick for our second goal and gets the assist for the second goal as well. Toney was absolutely outstanding. It wasn't just them two moments, but his hold-up play, he suits this England's team and system a lot better than Harry Kane. Is Harry Kane a better finisher? Obviously, but who is the better striker to be playing in this England team and system? It's Ivan Toney, even Ollie Watkins, because Harry Kane is too stiff to have all the link-up play. Yes, he's got a powerful shot and he's a decent finisher, but Toney and Watkins offer more to this England team and the England system, and I thought Toney had a really, really impressive cameo on off the bench, and if he starts the next game in a 3-5-2 formation or 3-4-3, whatever you want to call it, then I have absolutely no complaints with that whatsoever, because I thought Toney had a really, really positive impact on off the bench, and there's probably been a lot of people confused as to why Toney was taken over someone like a Dom Solanke, who probably, you could argue, based on their form, Solanke probably did deserve it more, but I know that there is a very talented player in Ivan Toney, and I think we saw that yesterday. His aerial threat and ability to hold the ball up was excellent for England, and if he started the next game over Harry Kane, I genuinely have no complaints with that. Yes, Kane is our joint top scorer now, but both of his goals have been largely open goals and tap-ins. He's not really creating much in terms of the system. I thought Toney held the ball up well, won a few free kicks as well. I was massively impressed with Ivan Toney yesterday, and that's why he gets a green box from me. Moving on then to the final box of today's video, I've gone with a yellow box for Gareth Gareth Southgate, and I just don't know where I'm at this moment in time with Southgate. We all know this is going to be his last tournament as England manager. He cannot continue because the system, style of play and tactics, whatever you think they are, aren't good enough to win a European Championship with this England side, and we were moments away from being knocked out to Slovakia. This would have been worse, in my opinion, than when we got knocked out by Iceland. Was it in 2016, I believe, under Roy Hodgson? I'm pretty sure, because the quality in this side, there's no denying it's top 3-4 squads minimum in this tournament on paper, and Southgate is not getting the best out of these brilliant attacking players. The only reason why it's not a red box is because he actually made the decision to bring off a Phil Foden and bring on someone like an Ivan Toney, bring on off the bench some of the quality that we've got. It's so frustrating when you see one sub in the 60th minute and then one sub in the 80th minute. Make more changes, because what we've seen in the first hour 75 minutes hasn't worked, and it hasn't worked all tournament with these players. Stop just making the one change in midfield and hoping that it will change something. I thought Kobbie Mainoo did a decent job in the midfield yesterday, but again it falls back on Southgate. Going forward, we don't look like scoring with a front four of Saka, Bellingham, Foden and Kane. We don't really like scoring. We're not creating many chances, in all honesty. And again, if it wasn't for a moment of individual brilliance from Jude Bellingham, we would be knocked out at this moment in time. And it's all well and good saying if, buts and maybes and all that sort of stuff, but I know Harry Kane spoke about the long throw in his post-match interview, but there's absolutely no way they would have worked in training on that type of long throw. It falls to Bellingham behind him, and he's got to perfectly execute a bicycle kick into the back of the net. 99 times out of 100, maybe not for Jude Bellingham, but when you're watching your average football match, that'll fly way over the bar, completely miss kick it. Thankfully though, it managed to find the back of the net, and I'm just so disappointed with Southgate that he's still refusing to change some of these attacking players from the start, because Saka has had some okay moments in this tournament but hasn't really shone too much. Bellingham scored a couple goals but hasn't really performed to his standards. Phil Foden has been terrible. Harry Kane again scored a couple of goals but on the whole has been poor and ineffective, in all honesty. And I know we should be positive going into the quarterfinals of the Euros again against Switzerland, who are a decent side. I have them as my potential dark horses at the start of the tournament, so that's going to be no easy game. It'll probably be our toughest test of the tournament so far, but with Gareth Southgate as England manager, do you really have much confidence that we'll be able to get over the line? And if we do, will it be with any real confidence? Because all 4 of our Euros games so far, none of them have impressed from a performance point of view, and even really from a results point of view. Scraping a 2-1 in the last minute against Slovakia does not hold for high hopes and expectations when we come up against a decent team like a Germany, a France, a Portugal, for example. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 100 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, that would be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We're on the road to 9,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already, with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below on the 6 talking points that I did go on to discuss in today's video, and also your overall thoughts on yesterday's 2-1 win against Slovakia. Thank you all very much for watching today's video. Have a great rest of your day. Go check out the transfer roundup as well, that was uploaded late last night if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon for another one. Peace.